and think it through, and then that came up and all of that. So as soon as it came up, I met with my artists who were already on ground. We didn't want to waste the time because we had actors waiting for us. That was more like
the lights in front of her go off. So she turns around, and that's when me, my character, who